Democracy might actually terminate itself. In today's Western democracies, we have big problems with polarization. This means that people are more and more just interacting with other like-minded people, and these groups become more extreme, and this is especially obvious in social media. The increased polarization has led to unexpected electoral outcomes, such as Brexit or the election of Donald Trump as the President of the United States. Our research at Åbo Akademis University has been inspired by two things. First, the increased polarization of societies, and second, an overall democratic theory called democratic innovations. More concretely, within the area of democratic innovations, we have been interested in a theory called deliberative democracy. This is a democratic theory that emphasizes arguments, dialogue, reason-giving, and reflection. The ultimate goal is to find consensus which everybody can agree on, and it's based on the best arguments, not who is saying what, but what he or she is saying. To combine these two interests, we have conducted social experiments with lay citizens. So far, we have conducted two experiments on the topic of like-minded groups and polarization. The first one was on immigration. We started by recruiting a random sample of citizens, surveyed them on their views on immigration, created two distinct groups or enclaves, one in favor of more immigration, another one of more against it. Based on their initial views, these two enclaves were randomly assigned into two kinds of groups. We had like-minded groups and mixed groups. All participants discussed in small groups that were facilitated by a trained moderator. They also had norms for discussion, emphasizing reason-giving, listening, respect, and reflection. Based on earlier research, we anticipated that the like-minded groups would become more extreme. But our results show that the democratic treatment given to everybody actually can alleviate opinion polarization in these groups. Since our results from the first experiment were new, we wanted to replicate the finding. So we created a new experiment, and the topic was the Swedish language in Finland. In this experiment, all groups consisted of like-minded individuals, but half of the groups discussed under democratic rules and moderation, whereas the other half had no rules. That means that they were receiving placebo. We were partly able to replicate our earlier findings. That means that the groups with democratic treatment did not become more extreme, whereas the groups who had no treatment, that is the placebo groups discussing freely, became more extreme. There are two kinds of interpretations from our findings. Well, first, we can say that ordinary citizens are capable to act like politicians. So we should find new ways to involve citizens directly in democratic discussion and decision-making. And secondly, on the topic of polarization, especially social media platforms should commit themselves to certain rules for interaction so that people respect the norms of civility.